Class 10 History, Chapter 3 Rise of Nationalism in India, Part 6 Towards Civil Disobedience. In our previous video, we have learned Swaraj in the plantations, Chauri Chora incident, and call of non-cooperation movement. Today, we are going to learn civil disobedience movement. In February 1922, non-cooperation movement was withdrawn. Some Congress leaders were tired of mass struggle. They wanted to participate in election to the provincial council and oppose British policies within the councils. C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru formed the Swaraj Party within the Congress, but Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose pressed for more radical mass agitation and for full independence. The effect of the worldwide economic depression was seen during this period. Demand of agricultural prices reduced, export declined, prices of agriculture product fell down. Peasants found it difficult to sell their harvest and pay their revenue. The new Tory government in Britain constituted a statutory commission under Sir John Simon. The commission did not have a single Indian member, but all British. So, when the Simon Commission arrived in India in 1928, all parties participated in the demonstration against Simon Commission. Simon Commission was boycotted with the slogan, "Go back Simon." It came to India to look into the functioning of the constitutional system in India to suggest further changes. The Viceroy, Lord Irwin, announced in October 1929 a vague offer of dominion status for India. A roundtable conference was arranged in London to discuss the future constitution. This did not satisfy the Congress leaders. Under the presidency of Jawaharlal Nehru, the Congress demanded Purna Swaraj or full independence in 1929 in Lahore session. It was declared 26 January 1930 would be celebrated as Independence Day every year. But the celebration attracted very little attention, so Mahatma Gandhi had to find a way to relate the idea of freedom to more concrete issue of everyday life. He found in salt a powerful symbol that could unite the nation. On 31st January he sent a letter to Viceroy Irving with 11 demands. This letter was just like an ultimatum. The most important demand was to abolish the salt tax that could unite the nation, and salt was consumed by the rich and poor. It was most essential item of food. The tax on salt and monopoly over its production revealed the most oppressive phase of British rule by Gandhiji. Irving was unwilling to negotiate. So Gandhiji decided to start his famous salt march, Dandi March, accompanied by 78 of his trusted volunteers from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi, the coastal area in Gujarat. The march was over 240 miles from Gandhi Ashram in Sabarmati to the Gujarati coastal town of Dandi. In the next video, we will learn about civil disobedience movement. Thanks.